Do you remember Halloween nights filled with pillowcases stuffed with candy, the smell of plastic masks, and horror movie marathons? Let's dive back into what made Halloween unforgettable for us millennials. Welcome to On the Subject. Make sure to like this video, comment, subscribe to this channel, and hit the notification bell. That way you get notified every time a new video gets posted. Today we are going to explore millennial Halloween traditions, costumes, candies, and iconic movies and television. So grab your candy, popcorn, or yogurt, and let's take a trip down memory lane. All right, so I have picked a few topics, as mentioned before, that we're just gonna go through and dive into some Halloween nostalgia. Of course, I have Kev here to give his input if he so chooses. So first up is candy. And as you can probably imagine, this has got some candy in it. So this is a hot topic because everyone has an acquired taste and loves their own specific candies, especially growing up. And maybe you don't like some that you liked as a kid and now you like what you didn't like as a kid, you know? But everyone has a certain taste. And I'm going to list off my top 5 favorite candies I hoped for in my giant pillowcase when I went trick-or-treating as a kid. Tell me your top 5 in the comments, by the way. So number 1, Laffy Taffy. I love all the flavors of Laffy Taffy, including banana, but for some reason I would always eat the other flavors and I would end up with nothing but banana. And I would just get irritated with that. But who could forget the terrible jokes on the Laffy Taffy wrappers? What does this one say? How do cell phones get around?
Waves.
They are mobile. Why do computers need insurance?
I don't know.
In case the hard drive crashes. Wait.
Who's dad joke?
They are. Let's see. This one says, what type of load only rises? Oh, that's dirty.
Yeast.
He said yeast, if you didn't hear that. An upload. Why did the phones break up?
They had a bad connection.
Close. They wanted to go wireless. 2 is nerds, which I have. These, I feel like you had to, or these had to be eaten in doses because after eating so many of these tiny little boxes, it seemed like your teeth needed a break because it would just like coat your molars in the sugar. The next one is Butterfingers, which I still love. If you watch my live streams on Rumble, then you know that I love Butterfingers. But I do remember that sometimes the mini ones that you would get in your trick-or-treating bag would kind of be old. The chocolate would be kind of white or have like a hue to it, or they would be like crumbly because they were old. But I still love Butterfingers. Sour Straws, which I couldn't find. We did find trolley mini crawlers. These were mini Sour Straws, but man, they were so good. I still love Sour Straws. Probably shouldn't say this, but we used to let our cat eat them.
Just like the sugar.
He would just lick them. Rest in peace, kitty puss.
He did have a heart attack.
He did have a heart attack and die.
But it wasn't from the sugar.
It wasn't us. He went to the in-laws and they fed him nonstop.
Don't put that on the video. They watched the
Wow. Note to self, don't eat a Laffy Taffy and try to have a conversation. Did we learn nothing from the Now and Later episode? I gotta finish doing it. So yes, the Sour Straws were the mini ones and they only came with like 2 in a pack. But this actually brought up something really funny for me. So if you don't know, I actually have OCD. Pretty bad. I've had weird tics as a kid that I've grown out of and now new ones have developed, but I didn't realize this until now. And many of you probably did this and are like, oh, that's just normal. But I would dump all my candy out and then sort it by the candy and then put all the ones that I didn't really care for back in the bag. Did you do that?
No.
Oh. So it is an OCD thing. So I would pile up all the Sour Straws and it was like I had a regular pack of Sour Straws, you know?
What'd you do with the candy you didn't eat?
It would just sit and get thrown away. Yeah.
One of our neighbors used to hand out Czech Cola.
There's always a neighbor that hands out soft drinks. I had a neighbor, very sweet old man, who would give out $50. Then the last one is Airheads. Again, they were the mini ones, but who doesn't love Airheads? Especially the blue ones, because you could eat them and they turn your tongue blue. All right, now let's move into some of the most popular costumes from the 90s. We made a lot of our costumes growing up, or my mom did. She was very, very good at putting together pieces and making a great costume. In fact, there is a picture of me somewhere as a gypsy, and it was like a legit costume. Number one was Ninja Turtles. Neither myself or my brother or my sister ever dressed up as Ninja Turtles, but I think my brother may have dressed up as Casey Jones at one point. But the cover band that Kevin and I played in, we dressed up as Ninja Turtles.
There's video on the internet.
If you wanna see it, let me know it out to you. You find out, ooh, baby, baby,
There's video, there's pictures. We had these awesome turtle shell backpacks that were so legit.
We even ordered pizza.
We did. We ordered pizza. Number two is Disney princesses. And I must admit, I was a Disney princess on more than one occasion. I was Jasmine, regular Jasmine. Then I was bridal Jasmine from Aladdin 2. And then Pocahontas, Snow White, and I think Cinderella at one point. Disney princesses were a huge thing in the 90s. 3, Ghostface. From Scream. It was the easiest costume to get. Even if you didn't have money to go buy like the cape, you could probably just make one and just get the mask. But then they released the pump mask, the bleeding face, and you pumped it. And I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. Power Rangers. I definitely remember seeing a lot of Power Rangers growing up. And I always wanted to be the pink one, but the costumes were too expensive. And as I mentioned before, my mom was very good at making our costumes or putting together costumes for us. So I never was a Power Ranger, which you could say is very frugal on her part, because why would you spend a lot of money on a costume for a kid that they're just going to wear once and outgrow? Harry Potter was also on this list too, but I swapped it for this one because I remember seeing this one all over the place, which was the SNL Spartan cheerleaders. I feel like this was more of an adult costume, but I did see them a lot. What did you dress up as a kid? Tell me in the comments. All right, now let's talk about some spooky entertainment. Usually horror movies are associated with Halloween, naturally, but I am not a horror movie person. Nope. They give me nightmares. They do their job. They scare me. So I can't do horror movies. So rather than attempt to list off a bunch of cult classic favorites that I've never seen, we can look back at a list of some fun and spooky family fun content and movies and entertainment. I hate horror movies. They scare me. Casper. That doesn't scare me. Fun fact, if you didn't know this, the Backstreet Boys actually used the set of Casper for their music video, Everybody. And we can't forget that Christina Ricci was in the movie, and she was in a bunch of other spooky stuff like The Addams Family. I mean, she was my generation's Wednesday Addams. And then Devon Sawa, who was a heartthrob for girls back then, but he was also in Idle Hands, which I have seen. But that's more of like a dark comedy. Hocus Pocus. This is just a Halloween classic. The new one sucks. I don't recommend watching it. Scream, of course, we just touched on that. And yes, it is a horror movie, but I have seen it. And I actually don't find this movie scary. I kind of find it funny. So that's why I can tolerate it. But it also spawned the Scary Movie franchise, which we have to give a little nod to. Beetlejuice, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. And I did see the new one. It was okay, but nothing will beat the original one, of course. Ghostbusters 1 and 2. And I love watching both of these no matter what time of the year. But I do love to watch these Halloween night. Are you afraid of the dark? I think the intro was scarier than the actual short skits that they did on the show. But it's definitely a blast from the past, including Goosebumps, the show, not the movies. I've never seen the movies. The episode of Goosebumps with the mask that wouldn't come off. Terrifying. Horrifying. So scary. It used to scare the shit out of me. I wonder how scary it is now. I bet it's not. Halloween Town. So this was a Disney Channel original movie, and it played on repeat. I think it played every night in October, but then it would play on repeat next to Hocus Pocus on Halloween Day. And it's a cute movie if you've never seen it. Great movie to watch with the family. I used to love it, and then I grew to be annoyed by it because they just played it so much. But it is a good one. It is a good one. So what spooky movies or TV did you watch as a kid? Or watch now? What are you gonna watch on Halloween? And lastly, let's talk about some fun traditions. Obviously, people still carve pumpkins, so we can just list off some things that I remember from being a kid on Halloween. And one of those was candy trading at the end of the night. This was actually brought up by Joey, and it sparked a nostalgic memory for me. Mystery bags when trick-or-treating. So these are often either like in a white lunch sack type bag, or people will get like clear bags and tie like a fun ribbon around it. But it was always fun to go through those mystery bags and see what was inside them, because it could either be like, you know, a lot of candy, or it could be a total dud, and they give you like a spider ring and vampire teeth or something. Fall festivals. Not everyone had these. I did at my elementary school when I was a kid, and it was all the things that you can think of when it comes to fall, like bobbing for apples, needle in a haystack, cakewalk, costume contests, themed rooms or snacks. It was really fun. I do miss it. And then haunted houses. I've only been to a seasonal haunted house twice in my life, which is no surprise because I don't like scary stuff. I went to JC's Haunted House, which is not there anymore, and Atrox in Birmingham years ago, and I had my eyes closed the whole time. I had one of my friend's brothers walking behind me, guiding me through the haunted house. And then we get to the clown room, and I'm not scared. Clowns don't scare me unless it's it, the new one. That shit is scary. I don't like that. But people in clown costumes don't really scare me. But these can also tie into like hay rides, or going to pick apples, or going to a pumpkin patch, which I have sadly never done. So if you want to go, hit me up. All right, guys, that was so fun. What do you think, Kev? Was that fun?
Yeah, I got a bag of candy right here.
We've got several bags of candy. But I hope that we were able to tap into some fun Halloween nostalgia for channeling some memories from your childhood. And maybe you can have some nostalgic moments with your kiddos if you have them, or reminisce with your family about Halloween in the golden era that is the 90s, or late 80s, or early 2000s. Millennials, you know. But if you are going trick-or-treating this year, please be safe out there with your family. Take all the pictures. Maybe we can have a costume contest on my Instagram or on the Discord, which you can find the link below. And speaking of that, please make sure to like this video, comment, subscribe to this channel, and hit the notification bell if you like this type of content. That way you get notified every time a new video gets uploaded and anytime I go live. I will see you on the next one. Thanks for being here. Woo!